Welcome back, YouTube, for another episode today of Empyrion Galactic Survival. Now, I've been making quite a few changes around the base since last episode. I have actually gotten all my stuff planted. As you can see, now here I don't have that much. This was just the kind of the leftovers. But I did get, in my other locations, everything packed full. So you see just how much I have, like wheat, the alien honey, the pear thing, fruit trees, whatever they're called. I also have, in my other one, pumpkins, tomatoes, all that. I didn't really separate them a certain way. I kind of just went in there and planted all of a certain type together, and then went to the next row and planted all the ones I had, and then kind of just moved from there. Because while this is a nice base location and obviously works pretty well, eventually we are going to be having to move off of the planet, and we're going to be focusing on a base, like a mobile base, basically having our capital ship, which will be our mobile base, and we'll have like the base here on this planet, which we can use. And of course, we'll have, maybe bases on other planets. I'm not sure if I really want to go that route yet. Like, go with a ton of bases on other planets, just because, I don't know, I could sit there and have a base on every planet, and that's great. But, eventually I'm going to be bouncing around so much. Do I really need that? Because I'm going to be having resources spread out so much at different locations. I don't really know if that's the way I want to go, if I want to have all that, or focus on eventually having a capital ship that has enough storage capacity and so well designed and organized that I really just land with it, and I have a base that is strictly for providing power and defensive weaponry. So I'm not sure 100% yet how I want to do that. Another thing I've done is I have done some work with the fuel tanks. Now, I found that hydrogen packs, while they are actually less efficient in the amount of power they provide, they are more efficient because you have to use promethium fuel packs to produce power the hydrogen generator, which produces the hydrogen bottles, which produces the hydrogen packs. And you can't really see it from here, but right over that ridge, I put up a hydrogen generator, and it's out of power now. I've pretty much drained it and got all the fuel packs I could from it. But I still got a few hydrogen bottles, and I've actually got a large supply of the hydrogen fuel packs already here in my inventory here. You see I got 50 total right now, and I've got a core because I was going to go ahead and try to take over the excavation site, and instead of holding on to it and using it like a secondary base because it's so close to this one, actually starting to strip it out for resources instead, and be able to bring all that stuff back to use with the large constructor here, as well as have just building blocks. Because what I want to do, and I have, looked again, and I've confirmed pretty much the capital vessels have to be built in space, but they can come down and land on the planet. You don't have to use a small vessel to get down to the planet. So what I'm thinking is actually taking the rails out, and building out further here, creating a much longer platform where I can land a capital vessel if I decide to build one that's more of a long, narrow type design. And right now, what I want to do is actually build my small vessel over here, and I've looked, and I can't find anything confirming that you can dock a hover vessel. Now, you could kind of, I guess, build it where you could let you move a hover vessel into it and hold it, but I don't know if it's going to work correctly the way I want it to. So I've been kind of trying to look at designs for the small vessels online and getting some ideas, and I was actually going to try and build the small vessel today on the episode, but I have run low on some resources. I want steel blocks, and I started building these hardened steel blocks, which I thought, hey, that's good because that means more structural strength. But they need hardened steel plates, so forth like that. And one of those was, I believe it's the Erestrum ore, maybe something like that. That I don't really have a spot where I can harvest it. It's just kind of something I've gathered from locations that I have been, picking up stuff from like the cargo boxes and such, and I don't really think I'm going to be able to make enough of it, so I'm just going back to steel blocks for now. And also, if you notice, I've made me a little kind of a driveway almost there, a little entrance. I've flattened out the ground there so I could have a little spot I could actually drive my hover vessel up and into the base area and have it closer, so it wouldn't be such an issue getting to it and make it seem a little bit nicer. I might build me like a little kind of a, dock type landing pad for it later on. I'm not sure yet. Where would you hide if you were a core? Okay, so it's not under there. It's not there. Unless it is at the central building area, which would mean it's underneath this. Okay, so I've just dug out that whole area down there, and there is no core. And that's a decorative. There's the core hidden away. Alright. So if you're looking for the core in a similar location, then guess what? It's up in the tall building. Okay, so I should have control. I just don't have anything powered right now, which is fine because I'm not worried about power. I'm worried about stripping everything down. Oh, food's spoiled already. Alright, so if I don't want to disassemble, I don't want fridges, so I don't need that many fridges. I can make them later. I want the materials. And that's what I'm talking about right there. That kind of thing. Yeah, look at that. See, now that helps a lot, because look at all the stuff I'm getting from this. Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that. Okay, so there's that one. I won't worry about most of the actual construction blocks later. I just want to get like the materials like this out because of the electronics involved with it. Actually, I want to take the cargo boxes as they are. Let me get some food going too, because I'm getting kind of low on food. But I think I want to take the cargo boxes as they are, because I can stockpile them. And when I do build my capital ship and I have all those boxes I want to be able to put in there, then I will be able to have, I'll have boxes already I can put in there. And just, what? Oh, another multi-tool. Okay. I can actually put all those cargo boxes to use then, not have to worry about building any, because I'll already have everything I need. I just have to remember to not take out the structural integrity of that until I've got everything else cleared, because if I do that, I might destroy that part and could end up losing the core because that whole section collapses like I accidentally did on my original base. So I definitely don't want to do it where that happens, because I don't want to lose the core or waste the core. I don't want to make it where then suddenly I have to go make another core. Ooh, I got a frame I can make. Okay. I don't want to make it where I can't access the core. I can't use that. I can't sit there and build anything else. So I'm definitely going to wait a bit. There's spoiled food. Oh, see, yeah, that fell because it lost its structural integrity, and I'd already destroyed everything underneath it. How am I doing on storage? Good on storage. That's just, you know, that's still blocks. I could just go ahead and oops, messed up on that. Yeah, okay, so I could just be getting the steel blocks. They're large steel blocks, which will help me in the end for the capital ship, but I can't use large steel blocks with the small vessel or hover vessel. Ooh, okay, inventory's full. So it's time to go and dump a ton of this over here into exactly what I brought this for. And look at all that steel plate that I've got right there. Eat my bread. Drop off the drill. Drop off that. Glass plate. I'll go ahead and eat ham. So now, back to more deconstruction. Ooh. Yeah, I want growing plots as they are, because I have not yet got anything that lets me actually construct the growing plots directly. Seriously? Time to finish this one up and head on back, I think, because while I enjoy... Dang it. Wasting so many of those good resources by doing that. Alright. Okay. So it's approaching nighttime, and I've got a ton of resources now. So I think it's better bet just to head on back. And yeah, I'm gonna wait. Look at all that steel plate I got. That is just absolutely fantastic. Actually, let's put those back. Let's get all the raw materials. And then I'll come back for these and put them back where I want them to go. Also, I found out that, dummy me, there is a headlamp, or not a headlamp, but a light with your suit that will help you see better and not. So, if you haven't found that out like I did, just hit L, and it will set you up with that. And I have noticed that by default, it turns it off when you reload the game. So you do have to manually turn it back on. But that's okay, because it helps a lot. Like, even having no gun in place, it helps. And I did put some extra lights up, like in the cargo hold areas right there. I got a light here to help light the way for that. And I did add, let me get the power on it. Or I can turn the power on. Oh, there we go. I did add lights to the side of the hover vessel so that I can see while I work more and make it easier on me. And I'm probably going to do the same thing, put a lot of lights on the small vessel so when I land with it, it will make it easy to see what I'm doing in that area. Now, I haven't been using those cargo containers right now because I am liking the idea of actually maybe taking that instead of keeping the cargo containers there, doing some remodeling with it and making it into my ramp that goes up and lets me use my hover vessel and actually dock my hover vessel kind of up there and have it where it's a parking space for the hover vessel. And I'm not sure if that will work. I'm not sure how well that will work. It's something I'm definitely going to experiment with later on. But right now, I'm more focused in trying to get the hover vessel, or not the hover vessel, the small vessel built, which is why I wanted to go and do that nice little resource run and get all those lovely, lovely resources I just got. But what I'm thinking right now is I'm going to start with my first small vessel. Actually, I'll probably put it here. That way, when I land it, I can get the stuff out of it and go straight down here to the storage containers I'm actually using at the moment and be able to dump stuff in there. And then I kind of want to do a second vessel later on, which I can always strip back apart if need be. I want to do a second one and try to build it specifically as a portable carrier for the hover vessel. See if I can actually do it where the hover vessel will let me like maneuver it in and park it inside and carry it. Not sure if that will work, but I know I can dock the hover vessel with the capital ship. So later on, I will be definitely rebuilding this hover vessel, make it look nicer. I kind of see this as the same thing as like the first base. It's kind of that first house you get started in Minecraft. It's not that great looking. It just serves a function, and as you get more resources and as you get more practice with it, you get better at design. So I really think that's what's I'm gonna be able to improve upon it. I've also got my texture and symbol tool and the color tool for use with when I build the small vessel. So I'm definitely going to make it look nicer this time than I did with the hover vessel. I'm doing more color in it. I've also been looking at some people's designs and how they handle building certain things for their hover vessels. How they actually implement it so they can work on it easier, because I do have option of like landing gear, which I've already unlocked. I'm going to be doing that. So there are certain things I want to be able to build, and it's obviously going to be easier to build it if it's up in the air. So there's some tricks people have been using to help build their hover vessels. So I'm kind of interested in testing some of those out. And side note, I did find that not every one of these, I may have seen this in the past, just forgot about it, but not every one of the groups lets you scroll to the right. But certain ones that do, like miscellaneous, have other items in there, like the auto mining device that requires level 12 for me to unlock. And as you see right now, I'm level 9, though I am getting close to, I'm halfway through to level 10, and I've been doing pretty well. I did a bunch of mining on the silicon, so I think I'm going to try to do more mining anyway, just because of being able to get more experience points than anything else. Yeah, I do want to mess with the small vessel and try to get a design where I can actually walk up inside of it, have like a door that comes down, and it looks cleaner, have landing gear, be able to maneuver better. So I'm definitely going to be building a bunch of thrusters for this and kind of have to experiment with the placement of the thrusters. So I've got a bunch of stuff to do coming up this week that I'm going to try to experiment with. I've got a lot of reading to do, and some videos to watch, try to get some ideas for this. But I think that's going to be all for today. So, we've got the excavation site taken over, got a bunch of stuff from it. I've got plenty of supplies, but I still need to go get more iron. So I've got to go back over that way. I need to go set back up go back over there and set up a turret at the excavation site to protect the core over there. And then I still got to look at what I want to do with the small vessel. So, yeah, I've got a lot coming up. And this has been a pretty busy week for me as is, just to get everything done with everything else I've got going, work and my music stuff. So this is pretty much going to be it for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Be sure to check out the rest of the playlist and hit subscribe to keep up with my content. Despite how busy I have been, I am still keeping to my 5 posts a week type deal. So I'm sticking with that. And be sure, to leave a comment. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like. If you got any suggestions for what I'm doing on this game or my other games. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.